Assalamu alaikum, dear friends. Hopes you will be fine, inshallah. Next question and criticism we have to be discussed. What's the purpose of literary theory? Basic. We have to know the basics of the literary theory. Basic purpose of the literary theory. First, what is a literary theory? Which is to say the actual interpretation of the literature has multiple purposes on the most basic levels. Its purpose is to understand the book, the actual figure out what the book's saying, or at least figure out what's saying to you. Next, on a deeper level, literary criticism has both philosophical and practical purposes. Among the practical is understanding how a writer accomplished what they did. Literature and art of all stripes can inspire us and change us and teach us, and getting an understanding of how an author accomplished their work makes it possible to improve our own writing, to incorporate inspiration and technique and make something new. On the philosophical side, literary criticism is one of the humanities because it is a literary about understanding humanity. Interpreting a piece of literature, reading and gleaning understanding is the closest thing we have to telepathy. Getting inside a story and really breaking it down teaches us about how other people see the world, both in the past and right now. That let us emphasize more broadly and understand ourselves at least a little better. Next, literary theory, on the other hand, is actually far more purely philosophical. It is about trying to understand the nature of the literature as a whole, finding a philosophical standpoint that supports your point of view, and then developing the techniques to apply that standpoint to literature in a way that lets you explain it to others. These philosophical differences can range from purely aesthetic or esoteric. For example, the debate between the new critics, who generally hold you can only glean understanding from the actual text of the work and not its context, versus historicist, who believes that only by understanding the context a work was written and its time, the life and beliefs of its authors away from the book, and so forth, can a critic truly interpret the book. Next step is uh, these philosophical viewpoints can be rooted in psychology, different types of psychology, theology, take or politics. Theology means ideas. Politics are like feministic, Marxist, liberal, conservative, even the fascist movement theories, etc. To boil it down, this purpose of literary criticism is understanding the literature better and more completely, both individually and collectively. The purpose of the literary theory is understanding literary criticism itself better and more completely, both individually and collectively. Uh, and absolutely no one agrees with anyone else on anything. That's important to remember. Keep that in mind, and you can get tenure one day. I hope you will understand the video, inshallah. Okay, goodbye.